video is to show a feature that we are really proud to have in Glass Advisor. The ability to generate boundary conditions especially made for a specific facade in a specific location based on weather historical data. In order to generate a user-specific boundary condition based on weather data, click on Thermal and Weather-based, and then choose which kind of conditions are you looking for. Do you want to know what are the maximum temperatures reached by the glass composition, or maybe the minimum ones? Or maybe you want to fill in the conditions all by yourself. Let's choose the first one, maximum temperature reached by the glass composition. The first thing we need to choose is the location. You have Google Maps in front of you, so feel free to define an address, type a generic city, or search for a company name or a point of interest. If you want, you can switch to satellite view. This might be useful for the following question. Clicking on Next brings us to the definition of the facade orientation, because depending on that, we might get different irradiance values. Just use the slider or insert a specific orientation and press Go. On the next step, we need to define a very important component of the radiation, which we find on reality, namely the ground reflect. Moving the slider, you will see that different values and materials are shown. If you don't know what to put, our advice is to set it on 30%, which stands for concrete, as if we had a public square in front of the facade. You can also set a specific percentage of reflection and click Go. Last but not least, we need to define how we should statistically filter the results. This is a little bit tricky to understand, but don't worry. If you want to understand the worst condition possible in order to make a structural analysis or find maximum surface temperature of elements, leave the slider to analyze the worst 8 hours of the year. Should you instead want to make just a comfort analysis which never focuses on the peak condition but rather on the worst, say 200 hours or more, set the slider accordingly, or set the value and click Go. When we click on Get Weather Data, this is when the magic happens. Glass Advisor fetches historical weather data of that specific spot on Earth and performs an hourly simulation of the last 10 years. We're talking about around 90,000 calculations. After that, it looks for the moments where the system got warmer and extracts the boundary conditions that generated the situation. In this way, for example, on a south facade, we can define not the moment with the highest irradiance, which happens on winter, not the moment with the highest temperature, which happens on summer when the sun is very high and the irradiance on the vertical facade is low, but the worst combination of both as they happen on reality. After that, just click Simulate and read the values. As you can see, in this case, a new box appears with geographical information. This box is just to help you and remind you what are the inputs that you use to obtain those boundary conditions. And they will also be printed on the Glass Advisor PDF report. So the temperature reached by glass panes on that specific spot we have chosen with that specific orientation is 28.7 for the external glass and 36.9 for the internal glass. Thanks for watching and enjoy your simulations.